please take advantage of that. And one of the most important things we talked about was how to study for a math test, because a lot of times when I call parents, that's one of the first things I hear, well, how do they study for a math test? And when I'm in class, they're like, well, you can't study for math, or how do I do that? Because math is different, and studying for math is different than any other subject. And one of the big things is coming to class, and we've already talked about earlier how we move at a rapid pace. We have to move pretty fast, even in our regular class. If you miss one day, you can miss so much. And I know that you get sick, or you have a death in the family, or you have an appointment that you have to go to, or I know little things happen, but please encourage your students to come. If there is any way you can arrange it that they're in math that day, that's going to help them out so much, especially if you know they're already weak in math. Missing one day of class is huge, because we do stuff every day. We learn something new pretty often. It's very important that they're there. And also that they pay attention, because we have a lot that don't like to pay attention. So they need to pay attention, of course. And the main thing is practice. And we tell them this, that practice is so important in math, because you can't really learn a skill unless you've practiced that skill. And I know a lot of them are frustrated because we don't really use the books that we have, because, you know, this is new for us, and when we chose the books, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And so we have done what we think is best for our students so far, and we give notes. And so since we don't really use our books that much, it is crucial that they take the notes off the board, first of all. Because if they don't have anything. Now they do, because they're going to have the study guide, and I've got a website that I'm going to give you information on how to log in. But taking notes is very important. And also, writing down problems, because we work plenty of example problems on the board. And the best way to study for math is to have a problem and the correct work there, and then to go home and rework the problem by yourself. If you rework it the first time, you don't have to look back at the example problem, you get the right answer, then, you know, practice one or two more times and you're good. But if you get home, this is what happens. I know it happened to me when I was in high school and college. I'd be fine in class, and then I'd go home and I'd look at a problem, and then I would completely forget how to do it. So then I would look at my example problems that I had, and I would figure it out. So if you get there and you have no idea how to do the problem, then you can look back at the work that we have done and kind of follow through. And so part of studying is reworking the same problem until you don't have to look back anymore, until you can do it by yourself. So when you study for math, it's not important that you have a bunch of new problems that you haven't worked. It's more important that you have old problems that you've worked that you have the answers for already, that you can look at the work and make sure that you're doing things correctly. So because I know we all do it, we stand there and we're working a problem, and we look out at the class, and only like half the class is writing anything down, and we say, okay, you really need to write this down so that when you're studying, you can look back, and they don't do it. But that's really the best way that they can study in math. So if they're not writing those things down, they need to be. And that's what I have in right up here. It involves writing down example problems, warm-ups, anything that we do. That is the best way to study for math. And so help at home, because I know we don't have a book that we use very often that we send home. So a lot of times as parents, you're like, okay, well, they didn't write their notes down, they didn't bring anything home. How do we help them with what they're doing? And we've recently found, and the state of Georgia has recently put up a website that is basically has the whole curriculum. It has PowerPoint presentations, notes, example problems for them to work that we all have access to. You just go and create a login for this website, and I'm about to show you how to do that. So it's a really, really, really good resource. And also the study guide has notes in it too, so hopefully this is going to help. And we have the handout we're going to give you along with the study guide, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get there. This is the website, and it's on the handout, so you don't really have to write it down. See if the internet's still all going. Okay, this is the website. So when you come here and you have directions on your sheet, though I know sometimes, especially for those of us who are not really great with computers and the internet, it's good to see it. When you get to this page, right underneath where you would log in if you've already created a login. So in order for you to access this, you have to create an account. So you're going to click Create New Account. Then you fill in that information, and then the sheet that I have will guide you through what you're supposed to do. But I also would like to show you, I'm going to log in and show you what is actually available, because there's all kinds of stuff. Once you log in, you have different options, and they all say middle school math. I'm not really sure why they say middle school, because it's for Math 1. So you're going to click Math 1 Support down here. And you'll have directions on that sheet. And those kids, I think actually we've all got data projectors set up now, and we're using these in class a lot. So they've probably already seen some of these PowerPoints. You log in, and it basically has everything that we're learning this year. It's just a long list, and you can go through. Oops. If we want to see a PowerPoint, it's there. Notes are there. So this is a really good resource that hopefully you guys are going to be able to start using at home. So now it's time for questions. That's all I have now. If you have any questions before, we are going to split up after this into groups with the teacher that you have, and we're going to pass out the study guides and the handouts. But do you have any questions for me? This website has been in operation, I don't really know how long. We found it right towards, no, I don't think so. No, it's recently.
School year for support for math.
Yeah, it's something new.
They just come out.
That's all they have.
What I'm asking is, how long has it been?
I don't know how long it's been out.
The state
Figured
has
somebody would let the kids know.
site just before Christmas.
Just before
Yeah.
Christmas.
November, December, the state finally felt comfortable enough releasing it out the full site.
So state goes.
Yes, aligned with our curriculum.
DO is Georgia Department of Education. I got two